Okay, so in this video I will share only the difference between Bashar's civilization and Enrico's civilization. What I come across is that they are really actually alike. I would say really and on the same planet, but yet I have not yet I have never asked, hey Enrico, is Bashar on your civilization? I have never asked this directly, but because when I start the channel, my mind just shuts off, and there are just audience in the room that asks this question. The biggest audience which I channeled to was maybe 80 people, 80, like 8 and 0. But when I'm teaching channeling to different people, and they are channeling many kinds of other civilizations, and I taught them also to channel the Enrico civilization. And when we when that person was channeling an entity called Reich from also Enrico's civilization, the person was always laughing. The channeler itself was laughing, constantly laughing, and it was hard to stop. Well, at the beginning, when I started the channel Enrico, it was also laughter and laughter and laughter, and every time when I start to do the channeling itself, there's like tons of laughter sending through, and straight after this laughter, when my body stops laughing, there's huge excitement that I feel, like instant, like continuous excitement. And when Enrico is talking, it's really usual that everybody just laughing and laughing in the audience. But then I asked this woman who was chanting the rakes from also Enrico's civilization. Uh, he was actually perfectly describing the Bashar civilization, and then I decided to quickly turn on a TV, computer, to quickly turn on the computer, to turn off some of the Bashar's videos, and uh, and the woman said, yes, that's definitely one of us. He's definitely one of us. And then I wanted to share just the information. I have to say, I have watched a few of Bashar's videos, but not like my father. My father has watched maybe all of those videos who are available on YouTube and who are not available on YouTube. The information that would say Enrico through my channeling is telling is actually, I would say, really close to the same. When I was watching Bashar's videos before, some of the videos, I noticed the typical follow your highest excitement, and blah 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 blah. And I never even paid attention to it. I never knew why this is meant and why should somebody follow his high excitement and so on. But then when I started the channel, Enrico, he was also constantly telling, do you do the things that give you joy? Do you do the things that excite you? And many are like, well, yes. And he was like, well, yes. Oh, yes, I'm doing the things that excite me. And Enrico was like, really? And everybody is always laughing and laughing. It's like, but then after these Enrico channelings, I only then understood the idea of it, the grounds of it. It's that when you follow your highest excitement, you are just like letting go of all negative belief systems, letting go all of fear-based systems. You are constantly, consciously releasing the energies that are blocking you, because when you are in excitement, I would say pleasurable feeling, strongly pleasurable feeling, you amplify your own true self, and that's what Enrico is constantly telling, true self. And then just a couple of months ago, I decided to watch Bashar's video. I don't know, I don't even, just one Bashar channeling, I didn't even know which of the video topics was it, but he was telling, do you follow your high excitement? And I was like laughing because the power in the words, the intonation of the words, uh, the the idea, the message is actually 100%, I would say, the same as Enrico is giving, also with powerful words, like strong words, with no leak words, and just giving and giving and giving information directly and with precision. And I was like, wow, okay. That for me was really interesting, because the information many times that comes through, I've never known it. I have never known it before. And then I watch Bashar's channeling, some videos or other channelers, or what other channelers here in Latvia are sharing, and the information precisely matches. And I was like, wow, how could I ever knew this? How can I ever even become to know this at all? And that's really interesting. That's really interesting. That's like, I have no doubts that you can communicate with other beings. I have no doubts about it. Actually, I have never even thought about to doubt that. But the thing is that I can doubt is that some people can actually misunderstood the information, can misinterpret the information, and can sometimes even channel themselves, not like another being, but their own selves. What I wasn't what I want to say is that that's the only misunderstanding that can be. Another thing is that the information comes through understanding. The information comes through a feeling, and therefore what we were talking again here in Latvia with other channelers, it's like, for example, we take one person and then we like channel about this person or situation, or universal laws or something, and we all receive the same information, the same, but how the person describes this, how the person uses his own language to describe this, is totally different. It's not like the same words at all. It's like completely different words. And the channeling levels themselves are also different. Some people channel like the entity speaks through, and some people channel consciously, which means that they are consciously giving translations and translations. So it's also a different way of channeling. So it's like there's varieties of channeling, varieties of channeling ways. So there's like, for me, there is no doubt. The only limitation I can share is that things can be misunderstood, because before I started to channel, it was like I paid attention to direct words. I paid attention to words, and it was like, oh, okay. Now, for example, feeling is something like, I would say, a feeling, something that I feel. But then after the channeling, Enrico is always paying precise attention to each word that for example, questioner is asking, whether it's a personal question or anything as such. For example, Enrico is like, yes, I have a question. Oh, you have a question. And the woman's asking that she was walking down the street and she suddenly felt bad. And then Enrico's like, ta. So you were walking on the street, left foot, right foot, means like you were walking, and then you felt bad. And he said, about what? I don't know, I just felt bad. Well, you have to know about what you felt bad. And it's like, it's not like about, I imagine the story right now, it's not like it did happen, but the thing is that he pays direct attention so that the sentence can be understood correctly, because some people just say, oh, I feel bad, and it's like, describe it. It's like always, describe it more detailed, because the one person can say a word, but it can be understood in billions and millions of ways. So basically, the idea is that what I want to say is that the Enrico wants to, and I now know that it's really important. And when I started the channel, that's really important, that you get the exact thing what the person is telling, not the words that he says, but make sure of the exact thing that he's saying. And the person says, I feel bad. And then, for example, you can feel bad because you imagine that you can be frightened of something, imagine that you lose money, or the person says, I feel bad because there was, for example, a dirty street or something like, you need, Enrico wants to get the exact information constantly. So also is that this just is a story which I want to say is that you need to make information precise. And then there was after one seminar there was a woman who asked me, "Hey, have you ever channeled Bashar?" And instantly Bashar was there. I saw him. He has no hair, and his jaw, this part of the head, is tighter and tighter. Actually, what I want to say is also what I want to just compare between Enrico, and his world was more color to the white, more white color. And instantly when he came, I felt that he knows a lot of things. But energetically, the world is the same as Enrico world. It's like perfectly when it was said the place of living light, it would be perfectly the same how I see Enrico, but I have never asked him, how do you call your world? He said, well, how do you call my world? Well, you can call it as you wish, it's no problem. The thing is that what I want to share is that how is the world? In Enrico's world, how I've seen is that if you imagine something or you want to create something, it manifests instantly. It's like the living light, you would say, is golden, yellow, and always shining, and with highest excitement all the time. Highest laughter, highest joy, and highest interest. Enrico is always constantly saying, "Oh, how interesting is this? How interesting!" For example, there was a question, and Enrico said, "You are doing what?" And he said, "Wow, that's so interesting, but the woman is so afraid. She is afraid of that and afraid of this." And he goes, "Oh, how an exciting experience." And the thing is, I want to say that this light there, this golden yellow light, is constant. It's like here we have this physical energy, which is basically dark or black colorish, and it creates everything solid and everything physical. But there is this yellow light, yellow golden light, which creates everything quasi-physical, like you would say something like water, like shining pure golden water. You can put your hand through it, but it doesn't take any effect to you. And you can merge, the energies can merge together and then disconnect together. It's like your consciousness, or you would say your astral body, is connected to this energy field, and this energy field from your thought creates everything that you wish. For example, a table, a chair, television, car, whatever. But here we make it. There it just manifests instantly, or like in a matter of seconds. For example, I can share an idea. I was talking with Enrico one day. I wanted to draw something from his world, and he, this is so funny. And he said, "Well, what do you want to draw?" I was like, I don't know. And he said, "Well, draw a chair." I was like, "What chair?" He said, "I did my chair, which I sit on." I was like, "Well, there's no chair." He said, "Wait," and the light, and pop, there's a chair. And I was like, "Wow, that's really amazing." And that was then, but later when I started to talk with people who have been astrally out of their body and to different worlds, they say that's really common. Such places, such worlds are really common. That's not a big deal. And even in physical fields, when there are physical worlds, there's also this thing is in common. This is like really something that is known through other places of the universe, I would say. And so the difference in how Enrico looks and how I saw Bashar, but also Enrico said that Bashar's name is different. They use the name here in this world, but there is different. And also what I know about Enrico and what Bashar's similarities is that Enrico said they communicate with many other worlds. Like they communicate with many other worlds, not a few, but with many other worlds. And what I noticed is also that Enrico said there is like an alliance in where the most energy closest brothers and sisters, you would say, from different planets, different societies. They like keep in contact. They are in contact. But Enrico is saying that he is my previous lifetime, previous life, in terms of I am he in my previous incarnation, only on different world. But they don't have no time and space limitations. Therefore, they can easily watch over all the time fields. And now I have the choice whether to turn right or whether to turn left. I think I will turn left. And so the next thing is that Enrico's visual appearance is that he is shining this yellow golden light. To me, yellow is yellow is to me energy that gives you movement and excitement. It's like if you have this yellow energy, you're always smiling and always dancing around, and you just want to do something more. You want to do something more. You want to do something more. Golden is creativity. Golden gives creativity. So creativity, the way that you create your own universe, you want to create something. You want to expand your creativity. But for example, when I saw Bashar, I saw that he has this white color, and white gives love, and to me in these color matches, these color matches, yellow, golden, and white, gives that he wants to, I would say, help. He wants to share, and he has a caring heart for something else, caring heart for others. Enrico is, I would say, sometimes really opposite. He's like, if there is no interest, he doesn't pay attention. For example, if a person is asking a really boring question, he's like, I want to go away. I don't want to talk anymore. And he goes away. And the person then like, whoa, and that a pity. Next thing is. On one seminar, Enrico started yelling, "Stop! Stop!" and really loud stop voice. I was like, whoa, my body started to shake, like, whoa. I have never yelled that loud before, and even on microphone, there was like audience of 80 people. And I created another video of it, and there was a person in the comments that said that the Bashar does the same thing sometimes, that he just yells at the audience or the questioner because there is no other way that the person can hear or understand or break himself. And it was like, whoa, this is really the same. But at that point I was like, whoa, okay, you should be really, Enrico, you should be really more, say, caring, really more pleasurable. And then he said, no, this is how it should be. But they apologized to me, not for the person, but for me, that I felt really sad because not that I yelled at somebody, but that my body yelled so hard. It was really sad that I used my body to scream that loud. But the person who was asking the question, he just was saying like, oh, totally crazy things. Would say like, I felt really sad for that person when I was hearing what he's saying. But everybody in the audience then applauded because the person who asked this question, he was so happy, and everybody gave the applause to him, and it was like, oh, everybody applauding. And he said, thank you, I now realized in few words the things I needed to realize. So what I'm saying is that also with Bashar is like the same I would say same reactions. And what else? What I know is about, I have asked Enrico, do you have flying saucers and everything? He said, no, we do not travel in space. We travel in worlds. We just like merge and travel to different worlds. And what I realized, they travel to worlds where there is even more exciting energies, like more party, more exciting beings. And when we were asking Enrico, what were the most interesting beings that you have seen? and he said, well, he said that really interesting. He said, well, there were these beings that they are consciousness, like, but they are like clouds. They're like flying in the nowhere, and they're like clouds, and gray clouds, and they're like talking with each other, and they're flying around and talking with each other and everybody. And he said, well, those are really interesting beings, but, and then my father said, well, what do you do with them? Well, we do nothing. They're really strange, really strange. And he's like, they're really strange. They're just flying around and talking with somebody, like a cloud with a mouth, and then he's flying around talking, a gray cloud. And he said, really, really strange. And then I said, what is the most exciting thing that you were? And he said, oh, exciting. And he said, there is a world where there is party and party and party all the time. And then when he saw the images, how it looks there, it's like they open the door to this world, and there is like, party hats. And then when you blow something, and this long whatever it is just like scrolls out and gives a sound, and then gives back. And they're like small dwarfs, I don't know how to say in English, small persons, really small persons. They're in the Santa Claus factory also. They're making toys and everything, and they're just incredibly exciting. It's like non-stop party all the time. There's like, you cannot even imagine how big party is there. They're like dancing, cheering, running, moving, doing everything. And then when these entities, beings from a necro world go there, they're like incredibly excited. How interesting, small beings, everything is so exciting. And they're like party, party, and there's like party, party all the time. And also another thing is that I realized that the bigger the being, the bigger the entity, the more, I would say, knowledge, the more wisdom or life experience it has. So basically, the entity, whether bigger, the more energetical the entity is, beings are more closer. When I said, Enrico, how do you call others? They say beings, beingnesses, or personalities. So there's entity that is something like other, different, but being is something bigger. Like, I popped into a huge traffic jam and I need to be on time. So when I have a channel with Bashar civilization, I come aware that they are connected to other civilization, and that other civilization, they said they call them Shakani, and they call the Bashar civilization Sunny. And I realized that by the name Sunny, they call it that they are sunshiny, like sunshiny. Sunnies, Shakani and Sunny. The Shakani, they are more technologically advanced, and they give the huge saucers, the huge ships, black ships. When I channeled them, I realized that Phoenix likes this boomerang can be one of their ships, because the boomerang also was black, and the Shakani create huge black ships. There's like they can create a ship that's huger than the sun, and so on. So, and then they said, well, when we come and you don't see the sun anymore, so then you know that they are we that are coming. And by the idea, I understood that the ship will be so big that it will block the sunshine down. So what else is interesting? Why I create these videos and while I'm driving is because while I'm driving there's barely nothing else that I can do. There's nothing I can do other than just speak. But when I'm home, there's always something I do. And yeah. Oh yeah, and then I watched Daryl's Anka interview many times. Really interesting. At the beginning, I was really interested how the other channelers are channeling. And then I come across to Daryl Zanka channeling video where he was talking about how he channels, and it was like exactly, precisely the same thing that I encountered. Exactly the same thing. And when he said at the beginning, he didn't. He said, I want to do some more of my stuff in this world other than just walking around dizzy all the time. And dizziness, this is the most common thing that a channeler experiences. When you get dizzy and when you meditate and get really dizzy, there's an entity there that wants to communicate with you. And when you channel too much, you're dizzy all the time. You cannot do anything. You're just like walking around like, whoo, and somebody is trying to say you something, and you're like, well, you're telling me something, but I do not understand a thing what you are saying. I don't understand anything you are saying. And so this is really common. So what I want to say is that similarities are really huge. Similarities are really, really big, and the ideas that the channelers are giving are, I would say, exactly the same. The messages, the ideas, the information, and so on and so on. So, but I would really love to channel in English. I would really love to do this, but the thing is that I don't have any. It's like when I'm doing the online seminars, like channeling online through webinars, you would say. There's always the Enrico is like, well, what are you saying? And he wants the person to repeat the question, because the hearing through the speakers is really bad, and he just wants to receive more of that person's energy, to hear more of that person's energy, to like get a connection, get a more closer connection, to understand actually what he's asking, and to also replay something. So maybe one time I will create a webinar and ask for some persons in English to join the seminar. People who I know in English, but right now I'm really limited with time. It's really limited. I was like doing seminars in many places around Latvia right now, but Latvia is small. But still, you need to drive one time I drove like 500 to 600 kilometers a day just to get there and back, and it was like, oh man, all day just really tired, and then you need like 2 days to get back on your feet, and so on. And another thing, when I was channeling, I'm teaching also meditations, and one of them is like we enter the world of Enrico, and it's like everybody just start to laugh so strongly that they start to scream. And then after these meditations, you are like 3 days, you are so excited, you're just flying around and bouncing around and doing everything, and really exciting. It's like really healing and uplifting. I cannot describe it in other words. So this video is almost 30 minutes now. I have told the things that I wanted to share, and also I have created a video which is called My Communication with Bashar Civilization. This communication was like 2 years ago from now, but I have more and more updates through that time and from that time now on. And also, I want to share is that at the beginning it was really difficult to channel Enrico, because well, many times people want to hear a precise answer. They want to hear a direct answer. For example, I will imagine a question right now. For example, Enrico, when will we receive a free energy, for example? And then Enrico looks at the question and he says, well, why do you need it? Well, I want to need it. Why are you aggressive? I'm not aggressive, I just want to do it because I want to change the world. And then he was like, okay, why do you need to change the world? And he said, because it's destruction everywhere and something. He's like, okay, why do you think there's destruction? And the idea is that Enrico looks in the energies within, and there's like aggression and not acceptance of the surrounding world. So he just doesn't answer to such questions if he sees that the person is asking these questions based on their own inner negative energies. So basically, this is really common, and the first the people are really getting angry because he doesn't answer the questions. But he said, well, it's not the answer you are looking for, it's the why do you have this question that you are looking for. And at the beginning it was really difficult because the persons were thinking that what's channeling, what's it for, it's like it doesn't answer to some or few or all the questions that were given. He just gives back answer questions, and so on and so on. But then after when I understood that what the Enrico was trying to do, I gave the Enrico more space, more allowance to do the channeling more and more. And then there was another entity that sometimes comes to help, and he gives a little more aggression to, a little more tension to the channeling process itself. And when the person asks a question, he gives full power back, and he's like, well, for example, and he asks, no, this is, I want to receive the answer because I want to change the world. And he says, stop, and gives the power back. Why there is something that does not satisfy you in this world? But when Enrico fully comes like, oh, hi, why are you not satisfied in this world? And the other person's entity, other entity's energy gives this tension, gives this power in the voice. And this was like creating it more. What I understood is that people actually are really aggressive. People are really aggressive, and they don't actually hear. They want to receive their answer, and that this is it. They don't actually want to change. They don't actually want to learn. They just I want to receive what's rightfully mine. So answer this question so that I can create a free energy. And he's like, oh, okay, why are you so aggressive? And the thing is that Enrico really likes honest people, really honest people that have their heart energy. He really loves them. He really like, oh, you have such beautiful energy. And one time, one lady asked after the seminar, Enrico, which questions did you like the most? He said, our Christians, yes. And then he turned to the couple of persons and smiled at them and said, you ask really from the heart. You ask really from your true being. You didn't ask from the mind. You ask from your true self. And he really admires them. And that's what I felt in that channeling time, is that when people are asking from their true self, the beings start feeling their shine, their true self shining. And this energy is really something outrageously pleasurable, outrageously loving, outrageously high, peaceful, warm. I don't know how to explain it. I felt what I saw that process is that when the person is asking, he is aggression. There's like black energies, like aggression and black energies. Like I want to see what's mine. Black, gray, aggression, intention, whatever. But when a person asks from his true self, what I see is that at that point the person's energy is shining. The person's energy is shining, and from that shine comes the sparks of energy from his higher self, true self, what call it as you wish. And Enrico, when he feels that energy, is like, oh, that's so beautiful. You are such a beautiful person. Do you have some more questions, please? Something like this. And yeah, this is it. About comparing Enrico's world with Bashar's world, and hope you like it. Hope you received some information that's useful, and yeah, I have my website, which is artlineofflinepeace.info, and on the English language version I post topics on English language, but you can sign up there and create your forum, create your own topics, share your own experiences. This is really